today, like how like really put together a really strong game plan for everybody to go director. If you're already a director hire, it'll help you set up people for game plans for director. So I'm going to go over some really good game plans for everybody here today. Kind of share with you some of the things and ideas that really my mentor taught me when I first got in that this industry that really helped me understand like how to really give everybody a solid game plan that really want to run for director. And just real quickly, you guys all know the promotions, but I'm just going to recap on them. Right now, we know that December is going to be over the top as we close out big here, the second half of December, mainly because of this leadership promotion. There's obviously an extra $25,000 extra cash available for people to get enrolled in the month of December. So we know at the end of the month, there's going to be a rush of new planners coming in, right? We're going to have so many new planners coming in at the end of the month trying to sneak in on this promotion. So the real focus we want to have right now is getting everybody to that has already gotten started, having them sneak in their buddies this month too as well, so that everybody can get those bonuses, right? If I'm brand new and you're my upline, I want you to tell me, hey, look, Tim, if you want to earn this team leader bonus or this director bonus, you want to help three people earn the team leader bonus, right? If you help three people earn that team leader bonus, right? Guess what's going to happen? You're going to have the structure already for director, and you'll hit that bonus automatically, but also you'll have the structure for obviously director. So we want to sneak in your buddies this month as well. So very important. We all know what it looks like. 2,500 if you become a team leader before the end of February. So all the new people are already, everybody's running for team leader before the convention anyways, right? All of our team is running. We got to get everybody a team leader before the end, before February anyways, because we want to get everybody to a team leader before convention. So there's a big rush right now to create tons of team leaders anyway. So having this promotion align perfectly with our convention is over the top. Obviously, director before end of May, 5,000. Before the end of August, senior director 7,500, national director by the end of November, which will be obviously the Black Friday month. It'll really set people up for massive success. So as many of these bonuses that you can get paid out to your team, the better off you're going to be. Total of 25,000. So we're going to have a big end of the month push, but we want to have that urgency right now to make sure that everybody's getting their people started as well and focusing in on and launching these people and getting them off to a fast start. We know the retreat's going on. Everybody's running for that. We've had so many people qualify. That's a big promotion. And I want to show you guys real quickly packs because you guys all know the packs, but I'm going to show you, I highlighted this right now. This is something that when I launch brand new people, right, or I'm doing game plans with my new people, what I focus in on is if I see somebody that got started with like a 300-point pack, I got to upgrade them, right? Because if I get somebody started with a 1,500 or a 1,000-point pack, you guys all know this, but as long as they get their 10 lifetime customers this month, their override goes from 5 to 10 on their first level and from 0 to 5 on level 2. So it's like, would you rather get paid 5% or would you rather get paid, basically 15% extra, right? 10% on level 1, 5% on level 2. This is available for planners when they get started, right? You guys all know the differential, right? On a differential pay, if a planner signs up a planner, they make 5%. But if they get 1,000 or 1,500 point set, we know that they're also going to unlock unilevel as long as we get those 10 lifetime customers, right? You got to always make sure that you keep adding lifetime customers when you're explaining this to people and then show them how to real quickly get those. But you're going to go from 5 to 10, right? On level 1. And then on level 2, you're going to go from 0 to 5. So I really make sure that they understand this, okay? Because you're going to have people get started with these 300-point packs, mainly as new people are signing up new people and they don't know, they're just trying to get people in and stuff like that. But you really want to upgrade everybody, make sure they start the right way. That's why at the end of the month, we'll have a big close. Everybody will be upgrading their packs. Everybody will, because they want to unlock their unilevel. We all know how that goes. And obviously the same for Canada. You guys all know how that goes. But I wanted to just real quickly show that because that's something that I share whenever I work with, when I'm launching new people. But today, like I said, I'm going to give you guys a director plan. And then I'm going to show you guys some stuff about how to use your back office that will blow you guys all away. Okay, because I know a lot of you guys know, I know Scott Allen. I'm looking at Scott right now. I know Scott Allen he knows how to use every dang tool available, right? But I was working with some of my senior directors and they didn't even know that some of these tools existed. So I was like, whoa, wait a second. If some of my senior directors don't know, pretty confident there's some other team leaders out there that don't know about these tools and how they work. But before I go over that, I want to share with you real quickly how I give people director game plans. And I think you guys will really, really find some value with this, okay? This is really the secret to how we've created so many directors in our organization is making sure everybody has a game plan, okay? Now, I'm going to explain some stuff that might be I don't want to say might be it might be new information. And if you don't know this stuff, just make sure you get the answers on this stuff. Okay. So let's just say that I'm working with, and I'll use Fernando. I see Fernando here. Fernando knows this. I've done this with Fernando because he's going to hit director by the convention. So Fernando knows this. So what I did with Fernando is I took Fernando's total volume, okay, in his organization. And you guys know how to calculate that, right? If you go to the report, basically whenever your snapshot, you can go to, volume, and you can do this for anybody. And when you look at volume, you go to total team volume that they've done in their career. Now, if somebody's been in for more than 6 months, you gotta change the date all the way back to their start date, okay? And whenever you look at their total volume, add all that up, okay? And that's going to give you a number. Whatever that number is what that number is, okay? And then I have to have Fernando do this on his own, but I go, Fernando, jump into your back office, okay, and find out how many total senior managers you have, okay? And how do you find that report, okay? How you find that report is the My Team report, okay? When you go to My Team, and then you just change it to senior managers. Boom, easy. And when it comes up, it'll tell you how many senior managers you have in your organization. Okay. Try to follow me on this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find out what that number is, how many senior managers he has in his organizations. And I'm going to count him because he's obviously a senior manager. And if he's got team leaders in his team, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to count the team leaders too, right? Because they're senior managers as well, even though their team leaders are also senior managers. So now that's going to give me the number of total people that have hit senior manager in his entire organization. Makes sense, right? Then I'm going to divide the total number in the organization by how many senior managers he has. Why am I going to do that? That's going to tell me, on average, how much a senior manager's volume is going to be worth total. Why do I want to know that? Somebody says, well, it's 6,000. It's not 6,000. It's usually, depending on the organization and how they build, okay, it's going to be anywhere between, usually right around 10 to 12,000. Okay. People that are bigger at pack selling, like big pack sellers that are most people come in at 6,000 in their group, their number might be lower, like around 8,000, right? Some people build that structure, right? Where most people are coming in with bigger packages. But I would share with you guys that even somebody that comes in like that, you're still looking at somebody that's going to be running at about 8,000 minimum. I haven't really found any of my organizations that have ran anything less than 8,000, but the average number is going to be 10 to 12. Okay. Meaning, but it's very important to get the specific number for them because it makes the plan way believable, right? You're like, oh, this is actually my number, right? So if I find out the total volume they've done throughout their entire career, find out how many senior managers they have, divide that number, it'll tell me how much senior manager per volume they have. Now for this, just for you guys today, we're going to use 10,000 as an example because that's more true to life. Okay. Now listen, some of you guys that have been around for a long time, like if you've been around, a year, 2 years, 3 years, your numbers are not going to be true to life to what a new person's would be. Okay. Because you've got people that have gotten their 1,000 points SP month after month after month after month after month after month after month. So your number is going to be maybe 15, 20, 30,000. But for a new person, they're not having that situation. They're looking at about 10,000. So if you take 10,000 and you divide it, if you take 600,000 and divide it by 10,000, what happens? You come up with what number? 10, right? Meaning that you're going to get, hold on, 600,000 divided by 10,000, you're going to come up with 60, okay? My brain's a little slow today. So when you take 60 and you divide it out, here's the game plan. You don't average 10 a month. Network marketing doesn't work like that when you're on a run. So let me go. I'm just going to break out the real quick whiteboard for you guys so you guys can just really quickly see how I come up with this. And what I'm going to look at, and I'm just going to show you how I come up with these, how I come up with this stuff, okay? And let me see where Mr. Danny's whiteboards are. Actually, I don't even need to do the whiteboard. I'll just explain to you guys, okay? So you guys that are listening, you'll get more value, okay? So month one, this is off of a 10,000 a month average. Month one, 3 senior managers. Month 2, 6 senior managers. Month 3, 8 senior managers. Month 4, 12 senior managers. Month 5, 14 senior managers. Month 6, 17. Okay? Because when you're running a network marketing, it's just about getting started and streamlining your focus. And after you see how I use reports, you're going to understand how to streamline that focus more than ever. So I tell somebody, I say, look, if you want to go on a director run, as long as you create 3 senior managers this month, we're going to go on a director run. Now, if you only create 2, hey, we're not going on a senior manager run this month. We'll go next month whenever you hit 3, whatever. But I would rather get started now in December, because so we have all these people to work with, and then we're going to run hard, you know what I mean, and get somebody there in 6 months. So month 1, 3, month 2, 6, month 3, 8, month 4, 12, month 5, 14, month 6, 17. Did you guys catch that all? So that will equal up to 60. If they're averaging 10,000 per, super simple. If they're averaging 10,000 per, that'll be 600,000. Okay. And the reality is it probably won't take that many, but I like to give people game plans that really make sense to them. Okay. So let me show you now how I use the reports that will help you guys. I think it'll help everybody a tremendous amount. Okay. Because this to me is like the most important stuff is how to use the reports. And I'm just going to share with you this information real quickly. Okay. So this is slideshow here. Let me make sure I got this right. Sorry, folks. Come on here. Okay. So now I'm going to look at the reports. I'm going to show you probably my four of my most excited reports. Okay. So this is the first report is report number 1. Report number 1 that I look at, this is the most important number, the new planners that came in. So the new planners that came in this month, this blue number, you can click on this. So the first thing when I start my morning, this is what I do. I double click on this blue number. Now, if the blue number is the same 2 weeks in a row, you still want to click on it, because this report, that blue number is a little bit, it's not as real time. Okay. It's not real time. So when you click on it, it'll open up to a real time report. Okay. Now this will show me the new planners that came in. Okay. So now when I'm looking at new planners that came in, I'm going to double click their ID number. Okay. I know you guys all know this, but I still want to make sure I'm talking to somebody that as if you don't know the reports. So if I double click pop on the report, this is going to come up. Okay. Now, if I wanted to find, remember I told you I want to calculate somebody's total volume in their organization? If I wanted to do that, I would click on this volume report right here. You see that? If I click on volume, I can scroll over to the right and it'll tell me their total team volume. Okay, that's how I find someone's total team volume to give them that team leader game plan. Okay, but for a brand new person, I'm going to click on line a sponsor. Why? Because I want to find out who their first upline team leader is, right? Because I need to make sure that new team their upline team leader is grabbing them and making sure they're coming up with a game plan for them to get to senior manager. Okay. Now, if I'm a senior manager or if I'm a team leader running for director, I'm going to be doing all that. Right now, if I've got some team leaders under me, I'm going to make sure that they're on top of it. Right. We want to make sure everybody's getting launched properly. Right. We want to make sure that we're grabbing these people. I think as I've been in network marketing for the last 30 years, what I've discovered as of late, I would say probably more in the last 5 years than throughout my entire career in this industry. Right now, people want to make everything automated, right? And automation is better than nothing, right? But nothing can beat actual calling somebody. So if I'm looking to Superman my group or Superwoman my group, right? And I want to force results, I'm not going to wait for some automated situation. You understand? I'm not going to be like, make sure they watch this video, this video, this video, this video. Because that doesn't make people feel special. Think about it. When Mr. Danny Bay signed me up, if Mr. Danny Bay was to say, hey, Tim, go watch these videos, man, and whenever you become successful, give me a call. Like I would have been like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Right? It's like, that's not how you talk to somebody that is going to become your next superstar, right? And you got to think of every brand new person as your next superstar, somebody that's going to blow this thing up. So we have to make sure these new people are being what? Launched properly, right? Somebody's grabbing them. Now, if you're doing automation and that's all you're doing, I'm not trying to bash on that. Okay. I'm not trying to bash on that. But what I am saying is that's fine to have as a system, right? But to expedite the speed of which somebody's going to take action, it's better to get people when they get started to what we've done throughout my entire career is make sure we set up a game plan for them. So whenever a brand new person starts, back in the days, 30 years ago when I got started, I would be like, hey, let's get your application filled out. Let's get you started so we can get together. We can get together and lay out your game plan. Right. So we would use that as ways to close. And then once we get somebody started, then we typically would drive to a Starbucks by their house or meet at their house or my house, and we would game plan. Right nowadays, with Zoom being so popular, it's even faster to game plan with somebody to make sure they're getting launched properly. So I'm going to click on their line of sponsor. Obviously, in this scenario, it's Lori Aldos, right? Shout out to Lori Aldos. I think she sponsored, last time I talked to her, like 3 people this month already. Great job, Lori. Now I'm going to look at that, and guess what I'm going to do? Okay. I just send Lori a voice text. Hey, Lori, I know Jennifer just got started. Congratulations. You're blowing her up. I know you're on top of this already. You're launching her, but I want to make sure, man, no matter what, we get her to senior manager ASAP, right? Because, and typically it's not going to be signed up by a director. It's going to be signed up by probably a new person or a manager or whatever. And I want to make sure that this upline team leader is aware of it. If I'm the upline team leader, I'm already like calling the organization saying, hey, Jennifer just got started. We need to be doing a welcome call right away. So usually in the organization, the way that we have it set up is when I'm building a new team, people know, hey, call Tim, right? So we can do a welcome call. So right when somebody gets started, boom, they do a welcome call with me. And usually it's a voice text, three-way voice text message. Because typically I'm doing calls. And then as soon as I get to it, I'm gonna hit him back with a voice text. Hey, welcome to the team. I'm so excited for you. Want to know what your schedule looks like. We need to get together in the next 24 to 48 hours, lay out your game plan so we can get you to senior manager ASAP, right? And we want to launch them properly, okay? Now, report number 2. I'm going to go through this faster now. Report number 2. This is a good one, okay? Is making sure that everybody has their 1,000 points for their SP or 2,000, 4,000. How do I find that? So I go to my business and I scroll down to my team. Click on my team. That's where the majority of the good reports are, okay? So I'm going to click on senior managers, boom, 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 and team leaders, directors. And I'll start with senior directors, and I go to team leaders, and I go to senior managers. And at the last day of the month, this is where I'm doing a lot of my volume from, okay? Is see who's close to 1,000, 2,000, or 4,000. So when you click on this one is team leaders, then you look over here at total personal volume. Okay, the first report is personal orders. Second one is personal customers. And then those numbers are added together for total personal volume. And I'm looking, okay, this person's got 1429. So I'm like, hey, we got to get you to 2,000, right? This person's at 2,700. This person's at 1,000. This person's at 1,400. Now this person, I'm like freaking out, panicking. I'm panicking right now, right? When I see this number, like I got to take, high blood pressure medicine or something, right? Or drink some beet juice. You know what I mean? Because I'm freaking out right now. Because every team leader has to be over 1,000 in SP for sure. Why? Because they're going to unlock 22%. But what else happens? Right? Another 85% is going to get paid out, right, in matching bonuses on that exact same income. So it's super important to make sure everybody's unlocking their income. So I'm looking through here. If I see somebody at 3,300, I'm like, hey, let's push for 4,000. Why would somebody want to get 2,000, right? You all know they get that extra 5% on the retail income, right? Or retail customers. Why would somebody want to get to 4,000? You guys see that? Because they're going to unlock another 5%. So I'm looking for people that are close to that so I can make sure that I help them become successful, okay? That's a big report at the end of the month. You can go all the way through the organization and find out who's close. You don't want to let anybody leave any money on the table, okay? When new planners sign up, we want to make sure that we know, remember the first report I showed you? Right? Click on the blue number, and then double click on the ID. You want to look at and find out what package they bought. Because if somebody bought a 300-point package, alarms have got to be going off because they're missing out on money, right? They're missing out on setting all their recruits. They're only going to make, instead of 5%, what happens if you buy 1,000 or 1,500-point set? Your income goes from 5% on your recruits to 10% on your recruits, right? Why? Because as long as we get their lifetime customers, we're going to unlock that unit level. So we want to help them get the 10 lifetime customers ASAP, get them to that 1,000-point set. And then on level 2, in the differential, they make 0, but in the what? Unit level, they're going to make 5. So I want to make sure that everybody's getting 1,000 or 1,500-point set. Why do I want to do that? You guys all know, right? Because if they do that, they're going to make more money on their recruits. So we're going to help them sponsor new people right away. Okay. Very important to do. Now, let's talk about report number 3. Now, this is report number 3. So I'm still in my team and I'm going to go to 3 months ago. Okay. I'm going to 3 months ago. Why do I want to go to 3 months ago? If somebody that joined October, what happens? October, November, what? December. Okay. And where it says rank all, you can look at rank all. If you're like a director, senior director, you might want to just look at what? Managers, right? So you could change it to rank managers and it'll populate all the managers that you got, right? It'll populate all the managers that you have. And then you look at those managers that you have from October, and those are going to be the easiest people to get to what? Senior manager by when? The end of this month. Why would somebody want to get to senior manager by the end of this month? Mainly if they're already a manager. Because their 3 months is coming up, right? October, November, December. Okay. So it's like crunch time. Okay. And I pulled that report the other day and I was like, dude, I've got a ton of people that hit manager. These are going to be the easiest people to do what? Right? These are going to be the easiest people for us to get to senior manager. Okay. So we want to grab those managers that got started 3 months. Now, the reality is right now we've got 15 days, 14 days or whatever. We got about 14, 15 days to close out the month. 16, I believe, right? It depends on how you calculate today. What I want to share with you is this. Okay. You can look at all your team that joined 3 months ago and look at where they're at. That's going to be what I don't want to call them the low hanging fruit, but those are the easy ones to get, right? Those are the easy senior managers to create. Okay. Very important to make sure you look at that report. Okay. Because now how do you do that? You change it to new planners. Look, see where it says category, new planners? Category, new planners. You can change the country. I changed this country to US. Okay. Just to look at this report. And then I looked at what? That month, right? Which is October. So you change it to October. Okay. Very simple, very easy to do. Okay. Now let me give you guys another report. This is report number 4 that I'm going to show you that this is a report. Now I'm not the guy that looks at my back office and looks at it all day, right? I look at it, find out what I need to do and take immediate action. I don't make money looking at reports. I make money finding out who I need to work with. Okay. So report number 4 is my team, new planners last month. Category, new planners last month. And now what am I looking at? See whose 30 days is coming up to buy a set. I want to look at whose 30 days is coming up to do what? To buy a set. Okay. Why do I want to know? Why do I want to know? I want to know this week. Okay. Today's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Who are the planners whose 30 days is running out? Because I want to do what? I want to upgrade them. Right. I want to upgrade them. Their 30 days is coming up. Alarms are going off. We've got to get you a kit. We got to get you a starter kit. So these are some of the basic tools that I use, right? These are the basic tools that I use. And I'm sure, your upline probably has some of them that they'd love to use. These are the big ones that I like to use. And the major reason why is I don't like to leave any money on the table. Okay. I want to make sure we help as many people make as much money as possible. And many of you studied the John C. Maxwell laws, right? The 21 laws, irrefutable laws of leadership, right? The law of navigation, to me, is one of the most important laws because that's how you're going to be able to help people more than anything else. Because look, you guys are all leaders on this call, okay? So you got to realize whether you like it or not, you're a leader, okay? And the reason why you're a leader is because you set the example, right? You've set the example, you've done it, okay? Leadership, you guys are leaders. So with that being said, a leader is somebody whose hindsight can become your foresight, right? So your experiences are going to help them out. You know how important it is to make sure everybody unlocks their unilevel. You know how important it is to make sure that new planners get launched. If a new planner doesn't get taken care of, because as your organization grows, anybody that works with you, you guys are leaders. They're going to win, right? Somebody signs up with you, you already know they're going to hit a home run. But what happens is that organization, right, starts to grow as that organization starts to duplicate. Now people are getting started 4, 5, 6, maybe 10 levels removed from you. You see what I mean? We have to make sure that person is doing what? Having success. Okay. So we have to make sure that that person's having success. Because if somebody with experience or know-how or knowledge or leadership like you doesn't contact them within 48 hours, 24 to 48 hours and schedule a game plan, there's a chance that they might get lost in the woods, right? There's a chance they might get abducted by aliens, right? Or join the witness protection program and we don't know where they went. So it's our responsibility to make sure that new people are getting launched properly. And that report will do it for you, is that new planner report. That to me is the number one report that I look at. Why? Because those are the most important people in my life. My new people are the lifeblood of my organization, and my ability to get that person getting started to senior manager, getting started to senior manager, getting started to senior manager. That's where I'm going to make, that's how my organization is going to replicate and duplicate. Okay. That's how you're going to create a massive organization. Okay. And that's how you create a huge team, is by what? Focusing in on who? The new people. The new people. and making sure that they have a great experience within their first week, and that we help them start enrolling people ASAP, having that, make sure that they're having their pop-up, right? Launching their business, making sure they're succeeding. So the reports to me are everything. And there's so much that you can do with just what I showed you. Okay. Just what I showed you. And you can look back at 5 months ago, the people that got started, and click on senior manager and see if you have any senior managers that came in 5 months ago, because we know that this is their 5th month. The big thing is that November was nuts, right? November was out of this world, right? Volume was through the roof, crazy, right? It's madness. What do we know? We know November, December, January, February, March. Those 5 months is an opportunity to be able to create massive team leaders, okay? Massive team leaders. And when you create a team leader, right, you want to make sure that we're helping to make as much money as possible. And how do we do that? By making sure that they're launching the brand new people, that they're having success with those new people, and that their people are upgrading, their people are hitting senior manager within 3 months, or people are having success, okay? When I game plan with somebody, I'm trying to expedite the process. Okay, the company gives you 3 months. This is what I tell people. The company gives you 3 months to hit senior manager. But the people that I work with, man, we get it done in the first month. Okay, and I'm not telling you that to brag. I'm just telling you, if you get started, and that's got to be the posture you have. You've got to have that same posture, because you are special, right? You are amazing. You're a team leader. I mean, that is not an easy task. You are amazing. But now what we have to do is we've got to make sure that you're having massive success. And that is how I do it, is through the reports. And I give all of you should have a game plan right now today by what I share with you on director, minimum within 6 months. Minimum within 6 months. And if you are launching these brand new people, like I share with you, look, if I know in order to start my game plan, my director run, I need to get 3 people to senior manager this month. Okay. I need to grab 3 people and get them to senior manager. I gave you guys the cheat code on how to find those 3 people today, right? Mainly it's going to come from new people. New people are your easiest. Okay. And focus in on the new people. A lot of us try to focus in on our team leaders or our senior managers or our leaders. That's great, man. But the reality is if you focus in on those new people in everybody's organization, naturally that organization is going to take off, right? And you're going to have a team leader having massive success because you're reaching under them, right? Or you're having a senior manager at team lead because you're reaching under them and making sure these new people are getting launched. Because if these new people are getting taken care of, right, and getting somebody having a game plan with them, you already know what's going to happen, right? It's going to be absolutely massive growth. Okay. So we just got to make sure that our new people, because what we're trying to do is what? We're trying to increase the percentage of what? New planners to senior manager. And if you have to realize something, man, if you look at your organization and you find out what your numbers are for how many people that get started in a month hit senior manager, you'll be blown away. You'll be blown away. Because if you can increase that number, right, by 5%, your organization is taking off like a rocket ship. If you can increase that number, I'm telling you right now, man, you can ask Danny Bay this, right? Whenever we had a chance to work together, you guys all know back in 2004, we got a chance to work with a mentor that really helped us guide us on this. And I'm telling you, man, it was unbelievable, right? We 10x our volume. And how we did that is this gentleman that was mentoring us, he made sure that Danny and I were making sure that all the brand new people were getting launched. And as soon as that happened, I mean, our organization 10x, and I'm talking about within 30 days, okay? And if I had more time, I would tell you guys the story, but it was absolutely amazing. Okay. It was unbelievable what transpired as a result of that. Right. So I just wanted to make sure everybody knows this game plan and how to focus in on making sure that everybody has a director game plan that so even that wants to be a director right now. Like some people right now, we got to get them a team leader or whatever. But as a team leader, it's the same thing, man. You know, how do we do the volume? Think about what I'm saying. If I've got to get 50,000 volume, how do I do that? You know, if I'm getting 10,000 per senior manager, let's go out there. Let's create 6. Let's create 5. Let's create 6. And I'm telling you right now, guess what? You're going to have somebody hitting team leader. I mean, that's literally the cheat codes of the business. You know, depending on what somebody's organization, if they're doing 8,000 per senior manager, then you just calculate that properly, right? But it's very simple. To me, it's all about creating senior managers. Like that's all I do. Like that's all I focus on because that's the whole business. All that matters is our new people. That's how you create directors. That's how you create senior directors. That's how you create team leaders is the new people going senior manager. That's literally the cheat code of the business because your new people are your lifeblood of your business. And if we do an amazing job at making sure that everybody's hitting senior manager, our organization is going to duplicate and replicate like never before. I promise you this. Okay, you listen to some of these presenters, right? I see Abby on here. I mean, when Abby opens up her mouth, people just want to join, right? I mean, she's such a good presenter. You know what I mean? Scott, man, I was telling Scott the other day, Scott, you have gotten so dang good from the time that I got started to now, like listening to how you speak. It's like, I just love seeing stuff like that, you know? I see Jose Luis Rivas on there. You know, some of these guys are just very effective, right? You know, you listen to a Karen Kang or a Steve Young, right? You listen to these leaders that are so good, you know what I mean? And you're just like, bam, wow, I don't know if I could ever be that good. You don't need to be that good. You don't. I promise you that. All you got to get good at doing is creating senior managers. That's literally the cheat code of the business. Looking at your new planners that came in right when you log into your back office, double clicking on that blue number, and even if the number's the same, like I said, if the number's the same, new planners today as it was yesterday, you still need to click on it because that blue number updates I think every 24 hours. But when you click on it, it'll be new. It'll be a real time report, and you can see exactly who came in. Okay, and just get into the habit of looking at that, and then as soon as a new person comes in, man, it's like sirens going off. Man, we got to grab this person and blow them up. I got to grab this person and blow them up. Like I've got to get this person and you know, I got to make sure they're having massive success, right? Getting off to a fast start, right? Launching their business properly and having success. That's if you want to expedite your growth, right? If you're one of those automated people, and I'm not trying to throw rocks. I believe in automation mainly for little basic things like how to use a website and like just the things that are just kind of like, how do I start my, you know, how do I create a website or I mean, some of that stuff has to be automated. You know what I mean? But that personal touch of getting together with a team leader, woo. I mean, that's just money, man. Because what are we trying to do? It's not about making people feel special, right? It's not about making them feel special. It's helping them understand that they are special. Do you guys get what I'm saying? Look, if you treat somebody, this will be jackpot. You'll love this quote. This is one of my favorite ones. I think Gerder said it, but I've also seen it as Emerson. So I don't know exactly who said it, but it's still one of my favorite quotes of all time. Maybe both of them said it. I said it too, but nobody cares about me, right? I'm not big time like Gerder or freaking Emerson, right? But but it's like if you treat somebody as they are, they only become worse. But if you treat somebody for what they could be, they'll become what they should be. Okay. So you don't treat somebody as they are, you treat them for what they could be. You know, when you're working with a big leader, right? If you have a big leader on your team, you're not calling them up and being like, hey, do this, do that, do this, do that. That's not how you talk to a leader. You know what I mean? Just think about this. If you sponsor Danny Bay, you know what I mean? Or you sponsor Karen King or Steve or myself or some of these people that are big players, you wouldn't call them and just start bossing them around. You understand what I'm saying? Like, look, think about it like this. Any of you that have had jobs before, typically, I know some of you are like, no, I had a great boss. Okay. That's not the rule. That's not it. It could happen, but the majority of time, how do people feel about their boss? They don't like them. They don't like their boss. So the last thing in the world you want to come across to is a boss. You understand? You want to be a friend. You want to be a friend. You want to be a family member. You want people to know that you care about them and love them. You want people to know that. And so I'm just letting you know, I promise you this. If you focus in on your new people, your organization will grow so fast. Because if you can just get them to senior manager, your team will take off. So just think, step one, this is what I teach people. Step one, go senior manager. Step two, create senior managers. Step three, there isn't a step three. That's just step two over and over and over and over and over and over and over again until you become financially where you want to be at. And that's how we do this thing. Okay, it's all about your new people having success. That's where your team leaders will come from. That's how your directors will come from. If you focus in under those people, you can't expect. Look, you can't expect a baby to watch a baby. Like I know most of you don't have twins, but we all know somebody with twins. Do you guys see what I'm saying? Or somebody that you know, some of you probably did it, right? Had babies like a year apart. Okay, right? Right? You're crazy. But it's like, but like you can't let a 1-year-old babysit a baby. You see what I mean? You can't show a brand new baby a YouTube video on how to eat a bottle and how to eat and or how to, and then hey, watch this video, little baby, and then call me whenever you grow up. It's like, no, I'll invite me. It doesn't work like that. You understand? We have to make sure that we're not having our new people take care of our new people. That's why I love this comp plan so much. Because as a team leader, where's the majority of the money going? Honestly, a planner comes in, a planner sponsors a planner. That new planner gets what? 10%. Their sponsor gets what? 5%, or unless they got 1,000 point back and got their 10 lifetime customers and they're getting 10, right? So, but guess what? In the differential, 25% is going to you. Hello. When a planner sponsors a planner, you're getting 25%. Think about it. I mean, obviously the comp plan says what? You need to do the work. Why? Because you're the team leader. You know how to get them there. We don't want a brand new person sponsor. That's why I love the comp plan. I love it like that. I want you to get the money. Why? Because you know what to do. You're the leader. You're the leader. You know how to get it done. You did it. Look, if you know how to tie your shoes, you can teach somebody how to tie their shoes. But if you don't know how to tie your shoes, you ain't teaching nobody how to tie the shoes. So it's the same situation. You're the person making the big money. Grab them. Grab those new people. And make sure they're getting, I mean, I'm telling you, it was like, as soon as I sign somebody up, as soon as a brand new person comes on my team, guess what I'm doing? Right? If I personally sign somebody up, it's like, it's done. You're going team leader, guaranteed, right? I don't know if it's going to be 30 or 60 days, but it might be a couple of weeks. Why? Because I'm telling you how to get to director from day one. And I know I'm not telling you guys to do this, but it's like when I sign somebody up, it's like when I look at all the people that we sponsored, 33% of them became a senior director, or a director or senior director. Why is that? Because I know where the landmines are. You guys are the leaders. You know where the landmines are. That's why it pays so much to sign up new people. Sign up some new people. You know how to get them to the top. You know how to make sure that they make it happen. You sign up a new person, you get them to team leader. Easy. Because you're grabbing all their new people, making sure they're getting launched properly, right? You're injecting them with confidence because you're the big leader. You know how to do it. So just make sure you understand, even if you're kind of brand new to this, maybe you've been into Riman just for a few months and you're like, I don't know if I know it or not. Here's what I want you to realize more than anything else. The one-eyed person rules the valley of the blind. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not saying fake it till you make it from the standpoint of, fake it till you make it. To me, it's like, be confident. It's like faith it till you make it. Have the faith to know that you know how to do it. You understand what I'm saying? I'm telling you, man, I met people in this in this industry. I'm not going to say anybody's names, but I'm telling you, there's $1 million a month earners that I met that if you would have met him, I'm talking about $1 million a month earners in network marketing that I used to work with, right? When I was in a company, I met with this guy and I'm like, this guy is he's not very talented from a speaking standpoint. He wouldn't be somebody that you would watch on stage and be like, oh my God, this person's amazing. But he had so much confidence. I never seen anything like it. I said, that's the magic. It's not what he knows, right? Here's what I'm going to tell you right now. Now, I want you guys to remember this, please. If you're kind of like halfway listening, try to listen to this one. Okay? I promise you this, what I'm about to share you, it will help you, okay? Most of you right now, the only thing that you're missing, okay? The only thing most of you are missing is the fact you think you're missing something. The only thing you're missing is the fact that you think you're missing something. I promise you right now, your skills is not going to take you. Okay, if you get really good and effective at stuff, it's not going to quadruple, double your volume. What's going to double, quadruple, 10x your volume is you launching your new people. And it doesn't take skill to do that. It takes a good heart. You understand? It takes caring about people. Right? And I don't want you guys to beat yourself up and be like, oh my God, I've not been taking care of my new person. Look, maybe you didn't know that report existed, or maybe you didn't understand the significance of it. But I promise you that's the number one report is your new people and making sure that whoever their upline is, and I have somebody like, I wish I had their phone number. I like the fact that we don't have their phone numbers. Why? Because I don't want you reaching out to them. I want you freaking going on a mission to find out from your sponsor and recruiting like, who did you recruit to find? Let's go find this person. What if we had to dig around for them? Think about that. If you have to dig around for them, that's scary. right? You need an internet. It's like, who's the upline senior manager? The team leader better know them, right? And then we just go, hey, man, who signed this person up? It's just track them down. I promise you can track them down. Somebody goes, oh, that's just a waste of time. Well, it'll teach you to make sure what? That everybody's in contact with people, because you don't have to call them. If you create a culture in your organization, as soon as somebody gets started, that they're doing a welcome call with their upline team leader, and that they're doing a strategy session or a game plan session, a connection call with that brand new team leader. If you create a culture like that, I'm telling you right now, guess what? It will not take you long to find these people. Everybody will be identified. Everybody will be identified. It's that culture that you create. When you create that culture, it's a three-way. I don't do three-way. I don't do welcome calls, right? Because I'm literally always on a Zoom, right? And I know some people, people that I work with, they look at my schedule and go, dang, I would never want to work that hard. I wouldn't want to work that hard either, but I'm not working. I love this stuff. Like, every day is like opening up Christmas gifts. It's like Christmas every day. It's like, ooh, look at all these new planners that signed up. We got some Christmas gifts in there, man. It's like, I know women like gifts, right? You like opening up Christmas gifts. That's how I feel, right? About new people signing up. Like, it's just like opening gifts. I just love this stuff. So I usually it's just a super simple text, voice text. And I'm like, oh, and then whoever they signed them up, I'm like, oh my God, geez, you're working with so-and-so. You couldn't be working with somebody better than that. They know exactly how to do it. Let's set up a strategy session soon. And then all we do is we connect. We get to know each other, make people feel special. And then I give them a game plan to hit senior manager this month. Because we all know this, and I'm not going to spend too much more time because I've kind of rambled on. I apologize. We all know this, right? Success in our industry, right? I was taught this in my first training I ever went to. When I first got started, I got started February 15th. My first training was on Saturday. I joined on a Thursday. I got started so it was February 17th, 1996. Okay. When I got my first training. And I walked in that room, I was 17 years old, and the guy on stage said, success in our industry is a series of impending events. And I thought, oh no, I don't know what impending event means. Never heard that word in my life. And I don't even know how to spell it, right? I probably don't still. But I'm telling you right now, I found out what it meant. And what he meant by impending events was, it's a calendar issue that's going to drive somebody to take action, right? It's kind of like we were selling Christmas trees. Would it be smarter to sell Christmas trees in July or early December? Why? Because it's a calendar issue. So an impending event is something on the calendar that's going to get us to take action. Some of you done your Christmas shopping, right? Or some of you have not. And you're like, oh my God, I got to do my Christmas shopping, right? You know what I mean? It's like, you'll get it done. You always do, right? The Christmas gifts will be wrapped. Everything will be done, but it's a calendar issue, right? It's a calendar issue. So it's the calendar that drives you to take action. And that's what an impending event is. So when somebody gets started, there's an automatic 30-day impending event. What is that? 30 days to buy a pack. Okay. We want them to get a 1,000-point pack minimum. Why? So they can double their income on their level one. Get them their 10 lifetime customers, go to 10%, 5% on level one, 5% level two. So level always for new people. Okay. Now here's the deal. What else is important? Think about this. What else is important? 3 months. What's 3 months? Your volume from month one is going to fall off month 3. So people that join in October, why are they important? Why are the October people important? 3 months. But see, when you do a launch session with somebody and you give them a strategy to become a senior manager in 1 month, and say they fall short, they're going to get it month 2. You guys see that? So how I use the impending event is I explain to them 40% of our volume comes in the last 48 hours. And I go, this month's going to be insane. I mean, it's going to be nuts. It's going to be wild because everybody right now is looking to come in this month. So the close of this month is going to be out of this world, mainly for your new planner signups. Okay. So it's like, don't party too hard, right? Because if you're hungover on January 2nd, all those new people that join on December 31st are already joined the Witness Protection Program, right? So we got to make sure we're not partying too much, right? So look at what I'm sharing with you. Okay. That's a major impending event. So I'm trying to say, hey, look, you know what? Let's get you to senior manager before the end of the month. Why? Because we want to make sure the last 72 hours, you're a senior manager, you'll be able to capture all that income. Because we get you to senior manager this month, you're going to unlock another 2 levels on your unilevel. Because you already got the 1,000-point pack or 1,500-point pack or whatever they got. You've already unlocked level 1 and 2. But if we can get you to senior manager this month, you're going to unlock level 3 and 4. So now you're going to get paid on 4 levels in your organization. Plus you're going to get an extra 5% on all your open line. I mean, you're going to make so much money this month. So we've got to make sure no matter what, that we get you to senior manager by the end of the month because you're going to make so much more money. Look, you guys see that? Now, if they miss, we know that we're still going to get them right? Maybe by the end of the month, right on the last day of the month, or we might get them early in the month. It doesn't matter. But if we just tell them 3 months, I promise you this, you can get them there faster. Every one of you hit senior manager at one point in your career. And when you look back at it, whatever that number was that you had to do, everybody had a different number. How many people you needed to talk to be able to get that done? Right? Some of you it was 10, some of you it was 20, some of you it was 5, some of you it was just, you got started there, right? I just talked to myself, got it, you know what I mean? That's how I got to senior manager. But everybody got started, right? And everybody hit senior manager on this call. And how you hit senior manager was different for all of you. But I promise you one thing, and I think all of you will agree with me. Looking back at it, you could have done it quicker. Because if I've got to talk to 20 people, that's my number. It's already predetermined. Can I talk to those 20 people in a week? Can I talk to those 20 people in 2 weeks? Can I talk to those 20 people in 3 months? It's the same effort. It's the same work. So just realize you've got to create more impending events. Create more impending events. Create more impending events in your organization. What's the biggest one? End of the month push. That's how we're going to create more senior managers this month, as opposed to waiting 3 months, okay? So hopefully some of these ideas and concept helped you out today. I just wanted to share with you guys some of the ways that I build, because I know I tell you guys, hey, look, I'm not a very smart guy. That's why I rely on reports. Do you guys see that? Like, I rely on reports. I literally rely on reports to know who to call, who to make sure is being launched, who's my managers from 3 months ago. Those are my people. Those are the low-hanging fruit, man. You look at your managers that got started in October, you're just going to be like, oh my goodness, this person's so close, right? We just got to make sure that we're helping those people are the easiest people to get there. That's the first place to look, right? New people, managers. If you have any managers from 3 months ago, that's easy. Managers from last month, those are the people that are close to senior manager, right? So right now is the time more than ever before. We want to make a decision in our mind, make a decision in our heart to say, hey, this is my time. This is my time to step up. Okay, I'm going to close out 2025 strong. And I'm going to get some brand new people to work with. And I'm telling you right here, right now, that in 2026, I'm telling you, I'm going to start strong. Now I'm going to grab these brand new people, man, and I'm going to run with them. And I'm going to make sure that I get some of these $2,500 bonuses, these $5,000 bonuses, total 25,000 available, man. How many of those bonuses are you going to get out to your team? You got to be thinking, no matter what, man, I'm getting those people those bonuses. You know it, man. All of you guys went senior team leader. You could have done it in 3 months. Right? You definitely could have, because it's the same amount of effort. It's the same amount of work, right? It's easier to run and make it happen fast than it is to walk. If I'm going from point A to point B, I can sit there and never get there. I can crawl and get there. It's going to take a long time. I can walk or I can run. Man, let's go on a run right here, right now. And let's run hard between now and the convention. Think about it. We got half of this month left. That's 15 days, let's just say. Then we got all of what? January, right? And then pretty much we got all of February, right? You know, give or take, right? So when you look at it right now, think about what I'm sharing with you, okay? We got what? I mean, it's literally about 75 days or whatever. Let's go on a 75-day run, minus obviously the Christmas and obviously New Year's, okay? But I'm just telling you right now, let's go on a 75-day run, minus a couple days here and there, okay? And let's run hard between now and convention. And let's look back in Long Beach and say, hey, look what we were able to create. Look what we were able to do. Look at who we were able to help. Look at who we were able to help them become successful. Because I guarantee you this, if you focus in on your people becoming successful, and if you could, look, right now, let's say that you could measure how bad you want it, your desire, and let's say you're a 10 out of a 10. Okay, you're a 10 out of a 10. Let's get your brand new people to be a 10 out of a 10 too. And how do we do that? We're going to care about them more than ever before. We're going to make sure that they're getting launched properly like never before. We're going to go all out massive action to make it happen. This is our time. This is our chance. Let's make it happen together. I love you, Riman family. See you guys definitely in Long Beach, but we'll see you guys really soon. Let's make it happen, everybody. God bless and have a great one.